It's like, don't do that, keep it cool. Yeah. Everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome to the first live event from F50, which is the Austin Startup Founders Club event. And F50 Ventures, in partnership with Rex, as you guys know, we're here in the beautiful Rex space. We're so excited to be here. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the space. And this is an awesome opportunity for PropTech founders and ConTech and GreenTech to come and introduce their startups to Austin investors and enthusiasts of everyone here in the PropTech space. We're looking forward to this amazing pitches today. And I want to first welcome David right here in the front seat here, who's going to bring us up and welcome what we're doing today and give us an introduction to F50 Ventures and also into Rex. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you, Liberty. So good afternoon. First, I want to welcome all of you to our very first Austin Startup Founder Showcase event. Thanks a lot for coming. As many of you know, I moved to Austin January 6th, one day before Elon Musk became the richest person on the planet last year, and has been a very, very exciting journey. Last year, still in pandemic, we host a couple events, mostly online. And I've been thinking about running something offline for a while. And thinking, tried a couple of things. We run a couple, I actually organized a couple hiking events, only a few people showed up. So last few months, I realized that maybe it's time for some offline events. So we decided to finally put everything together, called the Austin Startup Founder Club. Just want to make sure everybody remembers that. That's the host of the organization. It's a new community. I rebranded from our Founder Club community called the Austin Founder Club. So I want to, again, today is our very first offline event ever organized in Austin. I want to thank you all and welcome you all for this exciting time. Thank you. So PropTech had been a focus of me personally and our S3 entrepreneurs, startup founder world, as well as my F50 Ventures since the beginning of the year. And we look at several sectors last few years, including health tech, and we realized that there's tremendous opportunities in PropTech and ConTech space. Interestingly enough, I did lots of research between PropTech and construction tech. Short term was ConTech last few months. So we believe this is under investment, is underdeveloped, under innovated space. So lots of opportunities for the entrepreneurs and professionals in this space. So we decided to put PropTech as our #1 focus for the Austin Startup Founder Club to start with. Of course, down the road, we may do other health tech and clean energy, green energy events, and even Web3 events as well. But initially, PropTech will be our focus. Luckily enough, our MC today, Liberty, actually, he used to run her own social media company in the Bay Area. She also started to focus on PropTech after she moved to Austin, Texas. Let's give Liberty a big round of applause. I also want to say that I'm super happy and feel very lucky that today we are hosting this event at the brand new headquarters of Rex. As many of you, Rex is a leading players in the PropTech investment and innovation space. So let's give Santa and the Rex team a big round of applause. Thank you. So Austin Startup Founder Club is a community organization. We welcome your future participation. if you're interested in be part of our team, maybe run some events, organize some tasks for us, and feel free to reach out to me and our friends. And we would like to make a startup founder showcase as our signature program run every month. We want to feature the best earlier stage startups from Austin, and we'll only feature the selected companies at our YouTube channel, which already have over 200,000 views last 2 years. There's several great PropTech companies going to present today. We hope to see some of them at our YouTube channel. So, by the way, so I'm hosting a small, by invitation, startup founder bootcamp at November 13th. That's right before the Austin Startup Week at my small ranch in Leander. We're going to have some fun, like a mafia game and extreme hiking and the co-founders got talent and a campfire. That's small. Last year we invited about 10 founders to my ranch. So this year will be November 13th. And we'll host a bigger showcase on November 14th. And we'll host another online selection process on November 2nd. It's our very first online startup showcase program, which is also focused on PropTech and ConTech. Again, the online is November 2nd. Our bootcamp is November 13th. I hope to see many of you at our next few events. Again, I want to thank you all for coming today. And our social media hashtag is Austin Startups, Austin Startups. And make sure you post your good pictures or links on your social media. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I would love to hear a couple words from the Rex team. So, yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. As he mentioned, we're so grateful for the space. So we want to give you an opportunity. For those who aren't familiar with Rex, give you an opportunity. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate all your guys' time this evening and swinging by. We feel fortunate to host you guys here at the Rex office. For those that don't know Rex, I'll just give you a quick overview of the company, but it'll be very quick so that we can get to the actual companies presenting today. But, so Rex has essentially 3 arms to the business. The first arm is real estate private equity. You guys know Pete Rex is the founder of Rex as a whole in the ecosystem, and so he's been in real estate private equity for over 17 years. It's been very, very successful in that space. And so he founded that, and we have two of those firms in-house that actually sit just across on the other side of this wall. The second arm is our property management arm, and so that's also founded in-house by Pete Rex and team in Sunthar. And that group has just about 12,000 units under management, so growing very, very fast. Used to just manage the in-house units that were owned by a real estate private equity group, but has since gone out to third-party owners. So excited to see the growth there, and the significance of both of those first 2 arms come when we talk about the third arm, which is our venture studio. So that's where we've got 10 different startups. We talk about PropTech. All of them are either directly PropTech or indirectly related to PropTech. And so of the 10 startups, I would say 8 are very much so fall directly in the PropTech space. 1 is Fintech, which you'll hear from today, PayUp, and Denver, the CEO there, but also very related to PropTech. And the other is InsurTech, which is PrimePro, which is our one of our companies that is pretty far along in raising their Series A, similar model as the Zebra. But we're very excited. I think the mission, and someone was mentioning just a little bit ago, how the technology in the PropTech space and the real estate world is it's just not kept up with the rest of the technology that's out there. And I mean, that's our mission, is to make sure that those folks who have been underserved from a technology perspective are being served. And so we're building technology to do that. And you'll hear from folks like Jose on what they're doing to make sure that small businesses have this technology and can continue to grow and be successful, and hopefully 10x their growth on an ability to bring home money and food and all of that to their families and everyone that's within their team. But again, thank you guys. Really appreciate you coming, and hope you guys enjoyed the different pitches. Thanks.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And David, do we have our,
Start present.
okay, we have our presentations in place. So for our first presentation, we have Rami from, hold on a second, my paper was.
BidLight.
Thank you, thank you. We have Rami from BidLight. Now we're ready for you, thank you.
Yep. Hello, everybody. Welcome. All right. So, welcome to BidLight. The problem with estimation is that it costs construction
Excuse me,
companies.
sir. Actually, there's a recording there. If you mess that corner, the people cannot see you.
Sure.
Better the first time you
And,
make it.
So everyone that's gonna present, just kind of take note of that, stay where we can see.
Okay. So, all right. Welcome to BidLight. The problem with estimation is that it costs construction companies millions of dollars a year in both software and salaries. The estimation process itself takes days, if not weeks. Small firms can't really afford having a dedicated team, while large firms are challenged by the overhead of scaling their project deliveries. For that reason, we built BidLight. BidLight automates the takeoff and estimation process using a BIM model, and it makes it faster, simple, and accurate. The idea is that the case studies prove that the estimators on existing workflows take a lot more time and cost for a company than a efficient construction process. And so in the comparison, BidLight automates the processes that the estimator teams had prior. And is it okay if I take just 1 second to have a blooper moment to say that I'm loading the wrong slides? So can we redo this with the right slides?
Absolutely, not a problem.
Yes, this is not the one.
While we get that together, I want to see a show of hands of everybody who is actually in the PropTech space. As an investor, nobody from Rex, you don't get to raise your hand. Anybody in the PropTech space as an investor? Okay, so what brought you guys out? Are you just supportive of the PropTech space, or you know that it's going to be innovative, or what is your relationship to that? Let's see anyone that wants to kind of add why they are here to see the pitches today. Okay.
Sure. So I'm here from DE Shaw. We just raised our first VC round, or our first VC fund, $500 million that we're deploying. We have a very large investment thesis when we're looking at the types of companies. So while we aren't just PropTech, we are interested in it. We think it's an area that's been underserved. And I thought I would come out today to understand where some of the early stage companies are and the kinds of things that y'all are talking about, just because I think it's so interesting, and we're ready for business.
This is someone everyone should know, so still stand. Excellent. Everyone should know who he is and what's going on. So thank you so much for that. I think we're ready to get going. And let's welcome again, take two. Okay, right? Take two, excitement! All right, Ave from BidLight.
All right, apologies about that. So let's get going back to where we were. So basically the same problems, that hasn't changed, right? So it's not like we dressed a different company here. So basically we automate the estimation process, right? We automate takeoff and estimation, and we use a BIM model to do so. When you compare to existing workflows, we're looking at a drastic different approach in the sense that current workflows use various different software with their own licenses, and the process and time consumption within them do not leverage the power a BIM model has. So we've overcome that by embracing the BIM model metadata and data that has within it to automate that process and create a seamless process between the design and modeling process and the takeoff and estimation. When you compare and think about what BidLight really does, we've designed it to be focused on cooperation and coordination. So basically any stakeholder input is easily managed into the modeling process, allowing the essential budget evolution to be easily seen. In comparison, we ran a case study on this. 3 estimators and 1 senior estimator. Senior estimators are there to oversee the junior estimators process and to ensure that these are reliable estimations. Overall, what we've seen is due to the fact that we're automating manual tasks quite dramatically, we're reducing the overhead by margins. And for that reason, we can see that on average, a project excluding any hiring benefits or training expenses, we're reducing from about $6,000 per project to about $600. Forces enforcing BIM are drastic. All leaders in the industry know that, and we're all pushing for it, so that's going to encourage the BIM use even further. when you look and consider that construction companies only focus so much on spending their technology budgets, the top 4 estimation is definitely one of them. The market size is growing dramatically, not only due to the construction needs, but just generally for all the investment that is going into tech, into this industry. Architecture software as well, that alone, because of the efficiencies companies are seeing in using modeling, using BIM, and the technology use in terms of all the automation that exists, there are drastic efficiencies, and software spend in that category is dramatically going to increase. When you consider the market penetration, overall, we're targeting architecture, engineering, and construction companies. So basically the AEC sector, because as long as a project needs to be estimated, we're there. Our current business model is based on a SaaS model. We're allowing both enthusiasts and pro users to leverage our product and make it accessible, because our focus is on making this affordable for the industry as a whole. Overall, in the future, we will embrace on the overhead margins we're grasping, and we're going to monetize on that. Our competitors, overall, since we're the first to really bring in automation to this specific workflow, our competitors are just in completely different ballparks due to the fact that their manual processes are still inherent to their workflows. In terms of productivity, this is where this speaks. We're seeing that due to the fact that we're automating the process, a time to productivity is far shorter. So that means that the manual tasks that typically a firm would use are no longer there. So time to productivity is very efficient. Overall, the fact of the ease of use and the drag and drop is what makes the software easy to use, and that's what our users currently love about it. This speaks for the traction. Zero marketing spend, traction on the Autodesk App Store increased. Overall, we're at about 1,000+ users at the moment, and it's continued to grow. Projections, we aim to invest in our customer acquisition cost, right? This is where we know very sure that we have this BIM leverage model, and we aim to embrace on that momentum. And as we see the project scale and investing in this aspect of adoption, we aim to see quite a significant increase from that. Overall, our go-to-market embraces the fact that we understand content development is key in this industry, right? Marketing and sales is not how it used to be. So we're leveraging on that, and we're relying on ambassador affiliate programs. And most importantly, our biggest one is that we leverage stickiness. Our team, the founder and the CTOs, we are very much on the line of understanding that every product needs to be updated continuously to serve our users' needs, and we're doing that all the time, which means we have a very stickiness factor at the moment, which we're keeping on track of. This is us, and we're building the architectural and construction workflows together. Thank you. And questions?
I was just gonna say, do we have questions
And
for him?
questions.
There we go. Anyone with any questions on how BigPay works or the future? All right, we've got first question.
It's probably too early to tell, but you talked about go-to-market. Do you have any sense around cost of acquiring a customer based on these first users, or how did you get those first users? You said you have 1,000, or how many?
Yep, we're at thousands of users. So currently,
Are they all paying?
a mix.
Okay.
They're a mix of trial users, and they're a mix of paid users. We're going to be very transparent about what's the reality of this, right? BIM models are a methodology of design that are used by various firms, and it's not tremendous in the market, but that's changing. And it's currently exponentially growing in its adoption. So we are prioritizing on creating strategies to implement the deliverable of a BIM model and the contracts that general contractors have, so that the architects who they work with actually deliver a BIM model to make use of the automation that we're doing to that, if that makes sense. So in terms of go-to-market, I mean, we're leveraging the fact that it's about education as well. So we're leveraging the fact that we're out there presenting how this product works, and most importantly, how existing workflows aren't like disrupted dramatically, because this industry is very well known for new solutions and drastically different workflows to not be adopted as easily due to the training and adjustments the teams need to have. So if they're using a BIM model, we're replacing things that they don't need to do anymore. They're focused more on the things that matter, which is the construction materials they're using, or the actual estimation and budget control processes that they have. So that's what automation does. It removes all those clicks and interactions that one needs to do. A BIM model offers that opportunity, and we're leveraging on that by automating the estimation overall.
Can you talk about your team and how long you guys have been working together for this project?
Yeah. So this is us. Moldy is the founder. He's priorly been a BIM and VDC manager and engineer at various construction companies. Our CTO, Pechi, software developer, great guy, brilliant mind. As for myself, I've joined the team for the last almost about half a year, if not sooner than that. My experience has been that I've been a founder of AAC Tech as well. And I've been in the field and really understanding our users and what it means to be developing tech in this space. So I'm very proficient in understanding how we're leveraging that. And my capacity in the team as COO is in leveraging the product scale even further. I hope that answers the question in terms of the team. We've developed something here, and when I mean we, I will put highly credit on our founder and CTO, right? In the sense that Moldy has developed a product that leverages a BIM model the way no other companies really looked at it.
Follow up on Andrew's question, because he's asking about the go-to-market. The go-to-market, you said content creation. Can you just elaborate just a little?
Sure. Let's put an analogy on Autodesk. Autodesk is a known industry player, right?
Keep short.
Basically, content creation in the terms of we have to communicate well how easy it is to adopt BidLight in their workflows and why it's a smooth transition to do so. And we need to develop content on that so that people are aware how they can do it. And we need to minimize our support costs as well, because we don't foresee, and this is not a kind of software that needs a support team dedicated to fully manage a team to onboard the product. So we want to create something that's seamless for a team to incorporate on their own expenses and resources, which they can do.
When will be the next release of the product?
Sorry?
When you'll be releasing your product public for adoption?
It's out there. It's available to download and people are using it.
How many users?
So we have thousands of users, a mix between people who are just experimenting with it and people who are using it professionally as an estimation tool. We're working hard on our enterprise clients at the moment because that's where the money is, let's put it that way, because they're the ones that, as mentioned in the problems, they're scaling their companies. When you have estimators, they have salaries, right? And they're using manual tasks. They're developing proprietary software, but in terms of efficiencies in the long term, when you consider that we're building a product aimed specifically for automating this task, we are really leveraging the resources to be more efficient to just have a part of their software stack. So that pretty much does that.
Do you mind just explaining a little bit like what is BIM, and it sounds like it's like a framework that some people are using, not everyone's using it. Like what percentage of people are using that framework right now and how fast is it growing?
This is the part where I've had a button shirt. I would like to do this part. So BIM stands for Building Information Modeling. What that means is when an architect draws a building, they're using 3D for the most part. Some confuse 3D for BIM, but what that really means is that when you have a model, the walls have parameters. They have identifiers identifying what that means for many other processes in the design development phase. So our values, right? How much thermal performance this building can have, all these simulations that go within it. Those are all things that are tied to manufacturer-supplier products, and at the end that creates efficiencies in knowing, okay, in terms of estimation, we can get more accurate knowing that these are the suppliers who can fulfill for this product, for this part of the building, and so on and so forth. So BIM is about that. BIM is used currently, if we're to look at statistics, you have to consider that when we look at all buildings, you have single-family homes all the way to commercial properties. BIM is most efficient anything beyond a single-family home. Because when you're considering the scalability of the product, you have your mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Those are things when you have all the what's considered as a clash detection, that's where BIM is very powerful because you can coordinate your project, and when you're done with pre-construction processes moving into construction, you can avoid things that cause inefficiencies that overall, rework is a big aspect of it. So BIM in a nutshell is everything about your building digitized, essentially. And there are many governmental forces condoning that. Yeah, I could go quite a bit on that, so I'm buttoning that shirt.
That's perfect. Thank you so much. If we have other further questions, we'll definitely connect with you, and we're gonna go ahead and all right. Thank you so much, BidPay. He gave us an encore. I mean, he had various versions of this. We really appreciate it.
There was just one version for the record.
Next up, as we get prepared, we have PrimePro, excuse me, and we have Jose, who is going to present. He is the founder and CEO at PrimePro, and he is going to present something for you. And I want you guys to kind of think about a couple of things that Renee said here as we go into the evening. So maybe if you didn't get a chance to ask your question on stage today or on camera, that you can find him and ask those questions. So I'm going to hand it over. Okay, so as they get prepared, let's see who's in the audience, shall we? Let's see who that. We found some really interesting people. Thank you so much, sir in the back, who is obviously a winner out of this entire event. Who else here is into PropTech, into the space, but not necessarily a founder or investor, who may be an enthusiast in this space? Basically, why are you here? What'd you show up for? What's going on? What are you hoping to get out of the presentations today?
The beer and the pizza.
I'm gonna get you to say that again. You came for that pizza.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody else come for more than pizza? Anybody?
See?
Oh, can we see a couple of hands? There we go. Thank you, Oliver. Oliver's here for more than pizza.
Yes, I have a full beers.
Okay, so we've got a couple of PropTech and green tech investors, but I want to, while we have this time, I want to introduce and really highlight our investors who are here. We've got Andrew here from 7BC, and obviously David. Andrew, there we go, so everybody can know who you are.
Everybody?
Yes, he's right here. So as you know, we have the pitches that are taking place, and you're wondering, who are they pitching to? What are they doing? What are they pitching for? And this is obviously David here at 50 Ventures, and we have Lisa Brenneman, and I'm not sure where Lisa is.
Lisa's flight delayed, so she can't make it.
Oh, okay. Well, Lisa will see this on YouTube. Hey, Lisa. Hey, we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. And also, obviously, we've got the Rex team. Obviously, Siddharth. We've got him here, and he's, you know, we never know. He might be scoping you out to be a part of his new studio. Could that be an option?
Yep.
There you go. See, that enthusiastic yes. So I'm going to hand over PrimePro, and we're going to introduce Jose. Thank you so much, Jose. Welcome.
Hi, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm Jose Ortega. I'm a two-time founder in oil and gas, and also was a first general manager of Rebel out of New York City. Was with them when we launched Austin, raised a $27.8 million Series A to launch mopeds and electrical infrastructure. So with my background, really having the opportunity to work with contractors against different countries, it was an incredible opportunity for me to understand just how so many people that work as small contractors do not have access to technology, to empower them, and really, most importantly, to enable them to maximize their revenue opportunities. So what does that really mean, right? So in terms of contractors not having technologies to maximize their revenue opportunities, that specifically means that they're not really tooled up to give us the services we want specifically in everything that we do. So if contractors don't show up on time, it's because they're putting their notes into paper and that's getting lost, and their subcontractors are calling them to see where did that information go, and also their customers are asking where their contractor's at. So then you have this snowball effect of inefficiencies, and you ask yourself, well, why? Well, it's because these contractors specifically have not been tooled or served by entrepreneurs and technology leaders that, number one, relate to their opportunity and that really understand their pain points to the core. So they also are very aware of that. So 85% of contractors actually report that they spend 25% of their time with inefficiencies. And on top of that, also they report to not have the tech literacy specifically to adopt that. So what have we done about that? PrimePro's created a solution, just one tool for them to centralize the work one time, send that to their teams, have their team collaborate on that information, be able to send that information to their customers if they need to see it, and then also in the future collect payments And basically the end-to-end process, the same way that we use Google Docs, the same way that we use Monday.com, the same way we use Slack, to really use technology to make us more efficient and maximize our productivity. So a little bit of the actual features that we're building out. Again, we're going to be centralizing workflow, which is also something we've already launched. Really looking at ways to integrate automation and communications, potentially GPS tracking, for example, as one thing customers have access for, and also invoicing and estimates, really so that they can actually serve other customers, communicate with them, and actually get paid specifically for the work that they've done. So why is that important? Well, right now, small businesses, the market for small businesses in terms of technology spending is increasing by $20 billion over the next 3 years. What we're seeing is a big shift from general contractors that have big contracts. Workers are saying, hey, you know what, I can do this too, right? So we're seeing a huge independent shift to small contractors starting their companies. And as we see, the gig economy is thriving and is only continue to thrive as these tools enable them to be more independent. We're seeing lots of activity with other gig economy apps. And also more importantly, 83% of those small businesses actually want to spend in more technology-enabled tools for themselves. So I hope that you understand the problem that I've said and the solution, but I think what will really be awesome to see is just actually how we've actually already launched this. So over the last 3 to 4 months of launching the product, we've seen 90% growth month over month. We've seen 800, now 800 businesses, actually just checked the numbers this morning, about 120 businesses have actually created accounts with us. We're seeing about 20% of those users actually adding their teammates. And I'm already collecting payments from 50 to 60 businesses, getting close to about $1,000 in monthly revenue coming in. And our daily active usage is increasing month over month. So how big is this opportunity? Really excited to see that the numbers that you showed also align with mine. The contractor service space for small businesses is about $2.3 billion. Given the workflows and the problems that we've seen, specifically from workflow management and payments and centralization of communication, we feel very confidently that in 3 to 5 years we'll be able to actually capture about $50 million of revenue within this market that is currently not being served. Sorry, my clicker's not working.
Come in over.
Cool. All right, thank you. That way, there you go. I'm a SaaS guy, not a product guy. Why is it important to really understand PrimePro when you think about the current technology that are out there? Well, there are people trying to innovate in this space, but it's in very fragmented ways. For example, Uber's providing services specifically for people that want to drive cars. You know, Handy and Angie's are really providing leads. They're overselling leads specifically to these businesses. However, no one is really centralizing these tools and enabling these small contractors to actually adopt technology in their workflow, but also plug in that workflow into other tools. So PrimePro will be the one-stop shop for an on-demand labor economy business. So in terms of our go-to-market, we've been really fortunate, as I mentioned, that 20% of our users already started to add their teammates and other subcontractors. So we really are going to lean very heavily on product-led growth, which is really incentivizing users to add other people. So we've actually seen quite an awesome reduction in customer acquisition costs through that channel. And what was crazy for me to see is that no one's really advertising to like Hispanic immigrant businesses on Facebook. So we've actually been very fortunate to see like month over month such a dramatic drop in actual acquisition costs through social media ads, which has been incredible for us to see on top of the product-led growth that we've seen. So we're really going to lean in hard to the product referrals, the product-led referrals. You know, really initially to really get the market effect going, specifically with paid advertising, like as I mentioned. And then really start looking at affiliated partnerships, really partnering with multifamily companies and other products that are serving the same demographic. So I mentioned you guys about me. We actually have my co-founder Ritu here sitting with you. She's a brilliant product lead designer in computer engineering, specifically from Carnegie Mellon. And then Matthias, he actually started coding when he was 6 years old, started his own e-commerce business, and is now running our engineering team. So we're really, really pumped to be working with them. I worked and lived in Argentina for 4 or 5 years, so you know, having Argentine barbecue with our engineering manager at my house is something I really love to do. And in terms of what we're doing right now, we're raising cash. We're raising $3 to $5 million. We're going to spend about half of that really developing the features that customers have already told us they want and shown they want and we've proven pain points for. And then the rest would be around specifically getting these partnerships that I mentioned in terms of also putting back into the ads that we've seen success for. So, that way. So in terms of what we are, our mission really is to empower these small businesses. My mother was an immigrant worker from Mexico that picked melons. My dad was a construction worker, so I grew up in these households. So I'm getting up every day to innovate on the 50 million immigrants in the United States right now is something that I'm pumped about, and I'm really excited to be sharing with you guys with this. So happy to answer any questions, and would love to talk more.
So you're seeking to raise $3 million now. What's the funding history of the company? When did you start? When was the first outside capital?
Yeah,
raised?
yeah, sure. So fortunately, I've been a part of this amazing venture studio. So actually been mentored by Sundar, and really can't say enough about how good of a job that the venture studio has done to sit down. We ideated on the idea, but we actually raised $1.75 million in debt specifically from the venture studio, and this is the first time.
So how much debt?
1.75 million. So this is the first time that we're actually going out to raise external capital. So we've used that debt from the venture studio specifically to get traction.
And you don't have to disclose it, but is there a one-size-fits-all with the Rex Venture Studio, or is it each arrangement different?
I think it's each is different.
Okay, so Rex, did they recruit you to work this company, or did you come up with the idea, or you said it was ideated here?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So I was looking specifically after Revel. No one's going to be riding mopeds after the pandemic, so I was really excited about that product. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. We were really providing great transportation to lots of underserved people. So I actually was recruited to help the venture studio with some of their current projects. Really got aligned, really enjoyed the mission of Peter Rex, and presented this idea to me, and we ideated on it together with the team, and then launched the product, and went to market with it 4 months ago.
Does Rex own the majority of the company, or a minority of the company, or is it purely they've lent money to the company?
So we can talk more about that,
Okay.
specifics.
Sure.
But I think those are things that we feel more comfortable sharing specifically with
Understandable.
partners. Yeah.
And the 1.75, is that convertible debt?
Correct.
Okay.
Convert debt, typically we don't call it debt, so it's complex. We can talk about offline. I have a question about the 90% growth. So typically at the very beginning, with a very small market share, you probably can have a very good growth. But what about next 12 months? What is your...
Can you repeat the question one more time? You said that the next month?
You said you have a 90% month-to-month growth, right?
Right.
That's pretty fast. Assume the number is pretty small initially. What about your growth rate next 6 months?
Yeah, so I think the important thing to understand about PrimePro is there's a lot of understanding around software for businesses to really have an enterprise type of understanding. But what we actually have is like a software for a small team that's really playing with like the B2C, B2B realm, right? Because we're targeting people that through channels that are usually seen in business to consumer.
Maybe let me ask a different question. So it's actually the same question. That how did you get those existing growth? Because you mentioned on the paid advertising, that seems.
What's that?
In your,
How do I get my existing growth?
No. You said you raised $3 million. It's going to be some of them spent for paid advertisement, right?
Correct.
Have you spent any advertisement money lately? What is the cost of acquisition?
Yeah, we've actually reduced that. So we were spending about $3,000 a month, and then we've actually reduced that, and we've actually still seen growth, specifically with the referral. When someone downloads a product, they actually see the benefit in centralizing information for their work, so they invite other people. So in terms of the growth that we've seen in the reduction of that, is we've iterated on the data that we put into social media ads, and we've also iterated on the content in order to get to the more ideal customer profile and really weed out some of the other people that get adoption. So that's really how we've done it. So me personally...
How much is your CAC? Just like
yeah, sure. Right now, CAC all in is $160, and our LTV we're assuming 500 to 700. So we're right around a 3.6 to 3.8 now, LTV to CAC ratio. But with that's just me running the sales team myself. So I think as soon as we start to look at automated and self-feeding, self-consuming training material and other forms of scaling a customer support system, we're going to really see a significant drop in that. In fact, a lot of the monetization that we've seen has been people that started adopting the product, really enjoyed it. We call them and say, hey, sorry, it's not free. They're like, awesome, we'll pay for it. Yes, sir.
So Jose, what's your competitors' space now you didn't talk about?
Yeah, for sure. No, happy to talk about those. So, we really were looking at Jobber and Work is Easy, but we fairly found out that a lot of them were more like targeting a more like enterprise type small business, meaning I've been around for a while, I have assets, I actually have someone managing. So when we think about PrimePro, this is like a mobile product that one small business owner is running around managing. So the only like true company now, like I consider a strong competitor in this space, is really going to be like Company Cam. Company Cam is a great product. They launched really around roofing because it's very photo dense heavy. They just raised a 30 million Series A last December, and they're one of the few like mobile first contractor platforms. They are kind of beachhead market. They really have done a good job really putting a good product out there, but they're not really looking at the workflow management from end to end of the business, where we are really focusing on a smaller business versus a more enterprise level business. So this is like the small 3 to 15 person team that's coming to your house to repair flooring, to do painting, to repair the window.
So you would categorize your competitive advantages like more focusing on the smaller team.
For sure, for sure. We've already seen validation through these smaller teams through multiple labor segments. As we begin to innovate, we're going to see lots of really breaking into more of the gig economy and really focusing more in there, more at a larger scale. So yeah, we're a very small business, small team, mobile first product.
Are your products cell phone compatible?
Yeah, for sure. We're already in almost every state and have gone through the challenges of making sure it works on every Android device so far. Has not been easy.
This product caters to only construction or any kind of business?
Can you repeat the question?
What kind of business does it cater, your product?
Yeah, so essentially we're focusing on a non-tech illiterate type of person. So a lot of them have been really immigrants. So far, about 70-80% have been Spanish-speaking immigrants. So in terms of like any limitations that we see is really just making sure that our product stickiness is just slick, easy, simple, and intuitive. Unfortunately, with Ritu's incredible skill set in our product iteration, we've already seen lots of self-adoption. So I think that's really the first time that you see, I think we have a unique advantage that we have technical trained tech professionals, not just like a GC that has this problem and tries to code it themselves, that is really taking a mass approach. So we currently don't really see a lot of challenges. The only thing we don't want to do is actually go into more complex workflows where there's like electrical and you need like MEP and like large data like dependent workflows. So that's why we want to stick to this specific thing. So the limitation really is going to be around work complexity. We're not going to be working with lots of electricians or MEP businesses. That's mechanical, electrical, and plumbing for anybody that doesn't know what MEP is.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, next up we have Denver, who is PayUp. Let's welcome Denver, everybody. Denver. Oh, there we go.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Denver. I'm coming from New York City. I've been doing banking and debt finance for my entire career. I actually spent a large amount of that time raising money for companies in Latin America that did invoice factoring, that did other forms of financing and other financials. To your point, Brexit traveled for about a year and a half, having a bunch of meetings, and they had this really cool idea to build an invoice factoring model in real estate. Given that I've raised money for it, the debt angle piece, I myself love real estate as an asset class, have a small multifamily portfolio, really was very excited about the team here to come in and kind of build something like this with them. And so to kind of talk about PayUp and what we do, we're an early payments platform for vendors in the real estate industry. And so to explain why our vendors kind of signing into PayUp every day, we had a vendor named Manny. He's a carpet cleaner. He runs a business with his wife, and they came in a couple of months ago and they said, they do anywhere from 13 to 14 jobs a week. They work 6 to 7 days a week, and they had to pay for either materials or labor up front for all of the jobs that they did, meaning that they needed this cash flow coming in faster than their typical customers would pay. So we asked, what is the typical terms, and it's anywhere from 30 to 45 days after they've completed a job to get that payment back. So what did they resort to? They resorted to credit cards, payday lending. Credit cards are either extremely poor forms of financing for them because they apply for it, 3 weeks later they get a response saying either your credit card hasn't come through or that you've been approved for a $2,000 loan, which in real estate, they're like, what do I do with this? How much carpet can I actually buy with that $2,000? So they then went to a payday lending firm to kind of try to get that capital to do these jobs. Problem there was that the interest that the payday lenders charged them was 7 days later. However, they hadn't actually made this money until 30 or 45 days after they had actually completed the job. So very inefficient forms of financing for them. And so,
There's another clicker on there. There you go.
I'm going to eat Roku. And so what we did was we spoke to Manny, we spoke to almost 500 different vendors kind of in the real estate industry, and we came up with multiple iterations, and then after kind of canceling out a lot of those options, we came up with PayUp. So what we do is we go to a customer first, which is a very high credit quality customer, and we offer all of their vendors early payments through their systems. And so the vendor has early and predictable payments through PayUp, and they can sign up within 2 minutes. There's no credit check for the vendor because they're not the ones paying me back. I'm getting paid back by their customer. And by the way, the customer and the vendor don't need to change their workflow at all. So that's one of the kind of advantages of using PayUp. We don't ask you to, if you have a 40,000 unit property management firm, we don't ask you to migrate everything onto PayUp. We say, actually, you can keep whatever software you're using. We will actually sit on top of that software and be able to integrate with that software to offer all of your vendors these early payment options. And the why now is lending's growing at a significantly fast rate, and the reason, if everyone feels it today, it's inflation. Inflation is going at 8%, and they feel it really bad in the real estate industry because they have to pay for materials, which is what's going up, and labor up front. And they are looking for options. They don't qualify for most, but they're looking for alternative forms of financing. And the market for this is ginormous. Like, payments is a real pain in the industry. It's extremely antiquated. Some of you have gotten paid by checks. They go flying everywhere around America before they get to you. ACH is another inefficient way, actually. Like, that's the fastest way most people pay, and that takes 3 to 5 days to actually get onto your bank account. And by the way, if it's Thanksgiving, you're not getting paid kind of after Thanksgiving, right? We figured out a way to kind of pay you 24/7, 365, so that you're not waiting for weekends, you're not waiting for any holidays, that you actually need that money for doing more jobs, but you really need that money as a small business to put food on the table for your family, which is really the thing we're excited about. So to walk through the business model really quick so that everyone kind of understands it. So Manny, a carpet cleaner, comes in, does the job, completes the job, and goes to his procurement system to submit his invoice. on the system itself, you can see PayUp as a choice, and you get to choose when you want to get paid and how early you want to get paid. We charge a fee for how early, and then Manny gets paid on that day. And then after 30 days, which is the typical payment terms in real estate, we get paid back from a large property management firm, high credit quality, as an incentive for them to join PayUp and to offer all of their vendors early payments. We actually share a portion of that fee back to the property management firm. And as part of that, who is paying us is very integral to PayUp. I won't go into all of these kind of options, but we look at it from 10 different, from 10 different ways, but these are some of the ways. Since we launched our first product in May, we've hit about $1.4 million in payments processed through our platform. When you get the business model right in Fintech, it scales very quickly. And we have an average fee of 3% for a 16-day float, meaning that if you annualize that rate, you get to kind of the 60 to 70% return on your capital per month. And what we're projecting, by partnering with more property management firms, and especially the softwares, because we can go to every single property management firm, or we can sell to the software that then sells to all of their property management firms, which we have signed an LOI with one of the largest ones that gives us access to over 10% of managed real estate in the US. And so we can kind of walk through the numbers with the questions, but bad options, they're looking for tech. Other tech competitors, looking at the space and saying, hey, this is an interesting space, but they've entered different industry verticals. So import, export, capital machinery, staffing. We're focusing on real estate given our background here and given the domain expertise in real estate. Here's the team. Yash wrote his thesis on banking the unbanked, and so we have a big theme of trying to get financing options for small vendors. Piyush works in India. He just won his H1B, and so he's going to be here. And then Casey as well has almost 15 years in PropTech.
I'm going to wrap you right there. I'm going to pause you because a couple of those things we can probably get to with questions.
Yeah, perfect.
But I want to give some of the judges and guests an opportunity to kind of jump in. Is that good, Denver?
Yeah, this is perfect.
Thank
we'll
you
just
so
land
much.
here.
Yeah,
You're
just land
welcome.
right there. Thank you. Round of applause for Denver. Fantastic job. Fantastic. Questions from our judges here. Andrew, David, Darth, what do we have here?
Just give you a feedback on time management, because you spend nearly half the time to execute the problem, which can be cut by 90%, maybe 95%. Quick question. Let's say per client, so they are being paid earlier, like 7 days. How much money are you earning?
$60 on a $1,000 invoice, so 6%.
6%. On 7 days. Okay. So this means like a very high interest debt, something like that.
Yeah, sure. The small business typically earns about 20% on each invoice, so they are happy to do.
No, not the question.
Yeah.
Categorize.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So you talk about 16 days is the average length, or what is the credit risk associated with that? How many loans becoming bad ones?
So far, we haven't had any because we do it multiple different ways. First of all, we partner with high credit quality customers who then offer it, meaning that that customer is very high credit quality. Second one is we only pay an invoice after it has been approved by a property manager out there. So there's never a sense that the carpet cleaner doesn't do their job and then the property manager doesn't want to pay me back. We also use machine learning to calculate propensity to pay in the future. It's not fully built out, but we're putting those data pieces in there. We're making that kind of lines of data that we want to put into that system that allows us to calculate credit risk upfront.
So when you pay the vendor, you pay the provider, the vendors, you change the title of the invoice to you, right?
That's correct.
It sounds like it wasn't clear how much time you had, so it's hard to ask some questions if you thought you had a half hour.
No worries.
So you're seeking to raise $10 million now.
Yep.
What is the net monthly recurring revenue to the business right now? So if you get 3% of whatever that amount is.
Yeah, so monthly.
What is your MRR?
Yeah, so monthly is like around 25K.
Or $25,000. Okay. And you've been advised that raising 10 million now, well, that would indicate a pre-money of what?
Pre-money, we haven't yet decided that, mainly because we decided to kind of do this equity raise just about last Monday. And so two ways we're looking at it. One is we're raising money through debt for the capital flow. This money is all going towards growing fast. So getting onto those procurement systems, which are an enterprise sale and hard to get to, getting the team in place to do that, and then building out the operations and sales teams to kind of go do that quicker.
What's the revenue looks like for this month?
Like about 30K. This month is about 15K.
I mean, if you just feedback, if you were to look at what were price to sales of publicly traded companies in the summer of 2021 and what they are now, and if you look at what pre-money valuation's size of a round is for a company with 25K of monthly revenue, that hopefully is reoccurring, I guess, because the same net payers are paying. Sounds like a rich raise for today's market. But test the waters and see what kind of
What do
feedback
you think
get.
is a kind of value that you can?
We already gave you a feedback.
I mean, I would go to these guys. I would go to Rex and say, you guys keep funding me until I can get more money.
Got it.
Any other questions for Denver?
I have a question.
Okay.
Quick question. So this tool, you were marketing the contractor or marketing the property manager, or you need both of them be your customer?
The property management firm.
Okay, usually property management requests to use your tools. The contractor will accept, right?
Who requests first?
We actually go pitch it to the property management firm because we say, hey, you can get a 6-figure check by the end of the year if you use PayUp for doing nothing. Because we're giving you a rev share based on how many vendors use this.
100% you give to
Oh, okay.
10%.
10%.
I see. Okay, you give incentive to the property management to use your tools.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're incentivizing every channel partner along the way.
Then you need
That's
to ask
really
the
hard.
contractor to accept. Actually, the contractor pay you, right?
Correct.
No.
The contractor, so
They
like
pay
on
the
a
contractor.
$1,000 invoice, I would
Right.
fund the contractor $940.
Right,
So
right,
the
right. So
contractor's
actually-
Usually the rest contract don't pay them.
No, I think the contractor pay, right? Because
That's correct.
the invoice, the contractor send the invoice to the property management, but you pay the contract first, but pay a little bit less.
Correct.
Then actually property management just pay you back with the amounts invoices.
Invoice.
Okay.
You got a winner here. Everybody's jumping in.
No, I love it. Keep going. We have 1 more hour to keep going.
I love this. This is great. That's fantastic. I would love for you guys to find Denver. We're going to wrap up here. Let's give Denver a round. That was fantastic with PayUp. So let's give Denver a round of applause. Thank you so much. And I want to bring up Elliot here. Bring up Elliot because we're going to go ahead.
Oliver.
Oliver.
All right.
I want to bring up Oliver, and we're going to go ahead and do our kind of 1-minute round.
Yes.
Yes, so this should be interesting. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Liberty and David. I just caught up. David been here less than 2 years already. Got the southern accent of y'all. How are y'all, right? I've been here 27 years. Okay, we're gonna go through a quick session of introducing everybody to introduce yourself. I give everybody a 1 minute limit. We start from
Alex? Sure.
right. Just know you. 1 minute. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Alex Foster. I've been in the Austin area about 1.5 years, 2 years now. Originally from Silicon Valley, I was a program director of a larger startup accelerator out there, and I have a background in commercial real estate and the tech space. So I met David probably 10 years ago at hosting a few of his events in Silicon Valley. So right now I work with a nonprofit and a small tech company. We're building out a larger, about 150,000 square foot of biomedical research lab space down south near San Antonio. And so it's one of the reasons I'm here. We're interested in keeping it green and using green construction techniques and technologies wherever possible. And we're thinking about currently about 2.5 megawatts of solar, and we'll have about 4 times that by the end of the project.
Great.
Thanks.
Alex, you will find some partnerships around the audience, and he's very caring. Next to you.
Can I introduce myself?
Okay, sure.
Would you like us to introduce you?
Okay.
So are you here just for the beer or just for the pizza?
All about.
Very good.
So my name is Jun. I moved from Detroit. I work for GM. I was with the company for about 10 years. Then I moved to IT, and our IT center is here in Austin. So I just took the chance, and well, I don't know why. On my app, the address was saying 9,600 Great Hill. So I was there. Actually, the true story. I was at the wrong location.
Yeah, they had it
waiting for
updated
about 25 minutes,
Oh,
but
no.
the door was locked, and the cleaning lady was saying, "There's nothing here."
That's
you know?
good. That's
yeah.
good. Okay, you are
Yeah.
My name is Kishore. I live in Austin. I've been living in here over 10 years, and I'm in the tech industry. And basically, I do tech consulting and looking for opportunities. Looking for any partnership opportunities here. Maybe a little bit investment, but mostly to contribute to success of their business. So that's what I'm looking. That's why I'm here.
Great. Austin is a land of opportunities. Eric?
Oh, can I just stay here?
You can just.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Eric Ma, and I'm the CEO of the company called U Power Energy, and we are doing the solar, renewable energy, battery, whatever is the sustainable, affordable energies for the industries. And currently, my company is owning 10 megawatt solar farms in Texas and California. We are adding more. And our business model is to develop projects, finance and operate it. And personally, I'm also the angel founder, and I've, have a couple of projects, the startup I founded already. And I come here, I found actually very interesting because some of the projects here has the similar features we are looking for. For example, how to improve the efficiency and streamline the management workflow. That's also very critical for our energy business. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Joseph. I'm pretty much a product designer, UI UX designer, and I'm actually here with my startup as well. We pretty much provide flexible talent solutions to companies in need. And I'm here trying to see if maybe we're a better solution for some of the startups here in terms of, just flexible talent, which is in the name. And also I know there are some designers here as well, so I was looking forward to learning their journey and how they got to where they are. And other than that, yeah, so far I'm here.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael. I've been in Austin for 13 years. So I'm a battery guy. What I'm doing is batteries. So I have one company called PhD Energy. So I started about 6 years ago. So we provide B2B solutions to companies. So we help companies who design battery or who design product in the battery. We help them out. We have customers like Nike, Qualcomm, and we are trying to bring the manufacturing back to here. So that's why I'm interested in all this investment or this. And then I just started another company. It's also battery, but it's B2C. So B2C is different. So I also need different brands for that part. Basically, I'm a battery guy. If you have battery questions, you can reach to me.
All right.
Hi, my name is Eli Borton. I recently moved down here a little over a year ago from New York. In the process of building a new home and launching my second startup. Kind of seeing these pitches. My last startup was similar to those. Had an exit, getting ready to gear back up.
So we're not only seeing Californians, also seeing New Yorkers, right?
Hi, my name is Amit. I'm a founder of a food tech company in India. And I've been living in Austin for over 8 years now. And running this startup for over 2 years now, which is based in NCR region in India, which is New Delhi and around. So just was here to see what's going on in Austin and get to connect to some of the founders and investors.
Great, thank you.
Well,
I'm from Rex, but I am also co-founder of PrimePro with Jose, so he's introduced me a bit, but I originally come from India. I moved to the US for my master's, and I also had a startup of my own back in India in photography services, so that sort of like paved my way into like product and problem solving, and got an opportunity to like work with Jose here to work at PrimePro, which is doing some amazing stuff. So just trying to bring the power of design into like the lives of a lot of other people who have not been, you know, technologized. So excited to be here. Thank you.
Great. So we have not only California and New York, and we also have from Pittsburgh, right?
Yes.
Hey, I'm Tamal. I work for a software company called Click here in town. I've been in Austin about maybe over 11 years. I also moved from Detroit. Got away from the cold. I worked for 2 startups in Austin. One was Q2. I don't know if you guys know about Q2. So yes, don't have a company, don't have, you know, just wanted to be around smart people and free pizza.
A lot of smart people here. Yeah. Michael?
So hi, my name is Michael, and I went to school at UT, and so many years ago, and but I spent most of my time in Asia, mostly in Singapore and in China. I work for Susquehanna International Group, which is perhaps the largest quantitative trading fund in the U.S. at this moment. But I work for their Asia Venture branch, so I'm a venture partner there. So in Asia, we have over 200 companies, and perhaps we are mostly known as the largest institutional shareholders at ByteDance, which also the parent company of TikTok. So, you know, I spent 2/3 of my time in Asia, but the rest of the time in Austin.
Flying bird.
Hi everyone, my name is Ryan Ling. I live in Houston. Actually, I moved from New York City to Texas like 1.5 years ago. I bought a house in Austin, but actually I found no Asian food here, so I decided to move to Houston. Right. So I'm a cryptocurrency investor, and we're building a mining facility as well. So we're looking for large energy resource across the nation. So if you do have some resource, please contact me. And also, we're running a asset management firm. It's called Coin.ai. So I found this company. So now we're looking for investment as well. So yeah, happy to chat about that. Yeah, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm RK. I've been in Austin for maybe 2 weeks. And I work for a startup called Aura, and I'm also looking to start my own venture. Aura just started an office here, so that's why I came to Austin.
Ring?
It's not the ring, it's like more cybersecurity for families and individuals. Yeah, so just looking to meet some founders in this area and new faces.
Great, thank you. Can you tell us where you come?
I came from Boise, Idaho.
Idaho, all right.